So here in Spain, the mentality in the kitchen is very straightforward. Grab your ingredients, do not mess them up, and create a delicious dish. And of course, no fancy equipment and no difficult techniques. Today, that is exactly what we're doing. We're making a very simple dish of Spanish beans and eggs. This is known here in Spain as una sartén con alubias y huevos. It is loaded with so many flavors, it's super easy to make, and it comes together in just 20 minutes. Now, typically here in Spain, we don't eat eggs for breakfast. We usually have them for almuerzo, which is like an early lunch or for dinner. However, you can totally eat this dish for breakfast. Folks, this is what it's all about. Very basic ingredients, big bold flavors, and like I always tell you, where simplicity meets extraordinary. We're gonna begin by grabbing 1 jar of cooked white beans, adding them into a sieve, and rinsing them under some cold running water. The size of this jar is 400 grams, which equals about 20 ounces or 2.5 cups of cooked white beans. For the next ingredient to prepare, I'm going to grab 4 cloves of garlic and thinly slice them. Finely dice half of an onion. Grab a handful of fresh parsley and finely chop it. A generous handful of fresh chives, and once again, finely chop them. And for the final ingredient to prepare, I'm going to crack 4 cage-free organic eggs, each one into an individual bowl. I like to do this with eggs when I add them into a pan. That way it ensures that no shells go in there and that the egg yolk is not broken. All right, let's start cooking our dish. I'm gonna grab a large nonstick frying pan, heat it with a medium heat, and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the olive oil for 2 minutes, I'm gonna add in the sliced garlic and the diced onion. And start mixing the garlic and the onion with that extra virgin olive oil. You want to mix this continuously, that way nothing burns and everything cooks evenly. After about 4 minutes and those onions are nice and translucent, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika. Give it a quick mix, that way the paprika is evenly mixed around. Grab a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes, add it into the pan, and add in about 1 tablespoon of the freshly chopped parsley and 1 tablespoon of the finely chopped chives. And once again, give this a quick mix, that way everything's evenly mixed around. After cooking the tomatoes for about 2 minutes, I'm going to add in our drained white beans and season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And I'm going to give this one final mix, that way all the ingredients are evenly distributed around. 3 minutes after adding the white beans into the pan, it's time to start adding the eggs. I always like to create a little pocket and add the egg in there, that way it sits in place. We'll lightly season the eggs with a little sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And place a lid on the pan. About 2 to 3 minutes after adding the lid into the pan, I'm going to remove the lid. And we're going to cook this for another 2 to 4 minutes. You just want to make sure that the egg whites are fully cooked through while making sure that those egg yolks are still nice and creamy. After about 3 minutes and a total of 5 minutes since we added the eggs into the pan, the eggs look like they are perfectly cooked with those egg yolks still nice and creamy. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat. and sprinkle it with some freshly chopped chives. Check this out. Our Spanish beans and eggs are done. Look how beautiful this turned out. So many beautiful colors and textures. Let's give this a try and see how it tastes. I'm telling you, this sartén de alubias y huevos came out looking so good. I cannot wait to try this. Beautiful creamy egg yolk. Here we go. Absolutely delicious. But first things first is the eggs. They're perfectly cooked. The egg whites are nice and firm and the egg yolk's nice and creamy. Those white beans add such an incredible texture. And as for the flavors, the garlic, the onions, those diced tomatoes, and that sweet smoked Spanish paprika. So simple but so good. Like I told you earlier, this is where simplicity makes extraordinary. Make it at home. It does not get any better than this. Really quick before I go, a shout out to one of my patrons, Michael and Kelly Thompson. Again, guys, thank you so much for all your support. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one. It helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.